Hello and welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we're introducing the new set, All the Speech Bubbles. So let's take a look at all of these fun speech bubbles that are available in this stamp set. First, we have 3 different sizes of this cute little round speech bubble. Then there are some traditional oval-shaped speech bubbles in different sizes with the little carrot going in different directions. Then we have some really fun rectangular and square-shaped speech bubbles with the carrot straight down, and then some other various sizes with the carrot going in different directions. These are really fun because they can fit all different sizes of sentiments. And then of course there is the fun trio of speech bubbles connected. Also in this stamp set there are lots of little sentiments. Guess what? Ready to party? Today is a special day. Happy birthday. Make a wish, sending smiles, feel better, I'm grateful for you, thank you, hello friend, congrats to you, how exciting, you're amazing, I love that one, I'm here for you, I really mean it, I made this for you, which is perfect for handmade cards, love you lots, hugs to you, you're the best, congratulations, so proud of you, let's celebrate, another happy birthday, and then we have hooray and wow, which are really fun in those smaller speech bubbles. You can see that these are designed to fit inside the speech bubbles in this set, but these speech bubbles are also great to use with other sets that may have small sentiments as well. I really love how you can use these with other sentiments you may have to customize your card. Of course, this has some coordinating dies that you can bend apart or snip with your wire snips, and they all line up with these speech bubbles to cut them out perfectly. We'll just hold them in place with a little bit of low-tack tape and then run this through our die cut machine, and look at all these cute speech bubbles. It would be fun to cut these out and have them on hand to add to any cards. Here's a few cards that use some speech bubbles that I had already created, but I also thought it would be fun to show you how you can pull a card that you may have already created out of your stash and add a little bit of fun to it with one of these speech bubbles. So here is a Mom, You're So Amazing, and so I'm pulling out the You're Amazing bubble that I had already stamped. I also have this Happy Spring is on the way. This is perfect for that little wow bubble. This Sending Sunshine Your Way card is great for that little hugs to you sentiment. And then this fun birthday card, this is a perfect opportunity to add that little happy birthday speech bubble. And finally, this Carrot About You card, that's great for that little hooray. Now let's make some cards using these speech bubble stamps and dies. I'm starting out with the Rainbow Ever After Petite paper pack, and I'm going to use this little rainbow polka dot as my background. I've cut this out with the largest of the outside in stitch rectangles, and I will be layering this onto a mermaid card base. Now to stamp my speech bubbles, I am taking a strip of that large rainbow stripe from the Rainbow Ever After collection, and I'm stamping all of my speech bubbles right onto those rainbow stripes. This is a perfect way to get some coordinating colors for your card. Now this card I'm creating today was inspired by Elise, but I'm changing mine up a little bit to be a little more everyday sentiment. I'm using all the speech bubbles and all the little sentiments from that set, and I'm stamping these out in a rainbow of colors that will go around my big die cut sentiment. I've just picked out sentiments from the set that will go with a general hello card, but you could always customize these to fit your sentiment. For this little one here, instead of stamping wow again, I decided to pull out a little heart from the Sometimes Life is Prickly and stamp that little heart in there. Now I have my Scripty Hello die cut, and I've cut this from some narwhal cardstock. I cut it 3 times, and I will be layering these together with some liquid glue to create a nice thick sentiment. I'm adding adhesive to the back of my polka dot pattern paper and layering this onto a card base, made from mermaid cardstock. Then I can add that Scripty hello that I stacked together right in the center of my card. Now I'm taking all those little speech bubbles that I cut, and you can see I kind of laid them out in the order where I wanted them. And I'm just laying these on my card so I will have my placement of all of my little speech bubbles. Then I will go through and pick each one of them up and add a little foam square to the back so that these are popped up and have some really fun dimension. Finally, I wanted to add some shimmer around my card, so I used the Hearts and Stars skinny tag die with some gold sparkle cardstock to cut out some little glittery heart embellishments that I've just sprinkled around among my speech bubbles. I'm picking each one up and just adding a tiny dot of glue and dropping them back into place. And then here is my finished card with all those beautiful rainbow speech bubbles around that big scripty sentiment. I love how this card turned out, and you could customize it for whichever sentiment you need. Now let's create a scene using these speech bubbles. I have already colored and cut out some cute kangaroos from the kanga-rrific stamp set, and I've used one of the speech bubbles for one of the little sentiments in this set as well. For my background, I'll be using some pattern paper. I'm starting with the really rainbow pattern paper for the green, and then some robin's egg spiffy speckles paper for my sky, which I'll be doing some foiling on. While my foiling platform is heating up, I am going to take my foil and cut it to the size of my hot foil plate. This is the cloud background hot foil plate in landscape. Once my platform is ready, I put my hot foil plate on it, push the timer button, and once that timer button stops blinking, I'm ready to foil. So I'm bringing my platform back to my camera. My plate is ready to go. I want to place my foil with the pretty side towards the foil plate. Then I will take my paper with the pretty side towards the foil. I will take the plates that come with the glimmer system and layer them on top, and then I will take this and run this through my platinum die cut machine. Once I've run it through, I can remove those plates, pull out my paper, and then peel away that foil piece, and I have those beautifully foiled blue clouds. I really love foiling with a tone-on-tone look using the same color as my paper. Now I did cut this larger than I needed, so I need to trim this out with the largest of the outside in stitch rectangles. So I'll just hold that in place with some removable tape and run that through my die cut machine. I need to do the same with my green paper, but I only need a little bit for the bottom. So I'll line this up and run that through my machine as well, and now I have that beautiful stitching detail along the edges. I need to cut the top of my little hill for my kangaroos, so I'll be using the Grassy Hillside die to do that. But before I cut, I like to stamp my sentiment first so that I can make sure that I have enough space for my sentiment and my characters. So I have the sentiment that says, hopping by to say, have a kanga-rrific day, and I'm just stamping that towards the bottom of this green piece of pattern paper. Then I can see exactly where to put my grassy hillside to cut the top edge of my ground. Now I wanted to add some inking to this, so I'm using a small ink blending tool and some Lucky Clover Distress ink. I'm blending it along the top of those grass blades, being very careful not to bend any of them. And then I'll also blend some of that ink down the sides. I just think that adding some ink blending to a pattern paper die cut like this adds some dimension to the scene. Now I'm doing the same to my cloudy sky using Forget Me Not lawnfawn ink and a blending brush. I'm just shading the outside edges, and you can see how that kind of frames everything up nicely and brings that background to life. Now I can add my grass to the bottom of my cloudy panel. just lining it up right along the bottom, and now we have that beautiful stitching detail that goes all the way around our background. I am going to go ahead and add this to a standard A2 size card, and because this is cut with that outside in stitch rectangle, we're going to get that beautiful white frame around our scene. I've placed my little kangaroos and now my speech bubbles where I think they're going to go. And before I start to adhere these down, I wanted to stamp this little jumping line, this little arched jumping line for my kangaroos. I'm using some Hippo ink, and I'll just pick each one of these up and stamp this little line right onto the background. I think this is a fun little extra detail that looks like these kangaroos are jumping around all over the card. I'm going to add one more to the right side where that one little kangaroo is. And when I stamped this one, I did stamp it onto that white frame, so I'm going to go back and just tap it on the other side so that my little jumping lines go off the frame on both sides. Then I can pick up my little kangaroos and my speech bubbles and start adding them to my card using some foam squares for dimension. I really like how we have all of these different size speech bubbles for all these different sentiments, and that G'day mate is from the kanga-rrific stamp set, so I like that you can use other sentiments in other sets with these speech bubbles. Finally, I always like to add some little heart embellishments. It brings some warm colors to this little scene. So I have some guava cardstock cut with the Hearts and Stars skinny tag die for those 3 different size hearts. And then I'm adding a little bit of Stardust stickles for some shimmer just to the little hearts. And then here is that finished card with those cute little kangaroos. I love all those little speech bubbles, and I love how you can customize it to whichever person you're sending this to. Now let's take a look at some examples from the design team. Elena's card is so sweet. I love those veggie happy mice getting ready to wish you a happy birthday. Megan's card is so sweet. I love how she used high five and that little trio of speech bubbles. Yanea's card is so much fun. She stamped the sentiments and used the dies without the speech bubbles for a really fun, unique look. And Marine's card is so sweet. I love those little bunnies in the trailer behind the tractor. Here is Elisa's card that inspired the card I made today with all those rainbow speech bubbles. And then here is a card by Grace where she used the speech bubbles on a Give It a Whirl card, which I think is so much fun. I love those cute little frogs and how she made the Give It a Whirl look like a lily pad. This card by Audrey is so cute. I love the garden snail, and that sending smiles sentiment is perfect. And then this card by Mindy uses Wild for You to create a really cute and fun birthday card. Letitia's card is clean and simple with those die-cut sentiments and little speech bubbles as accents. And then here is another look at the 2 cards that I created in today's video. This one with all of the rainbow speech bubbles, and then this cute little scene using kanga-rrific. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye!